luxury symposium, which, if you've never been to this event, it's probably one of my absolute favorites. The content we'll bring back and share with you guys, but it's been really, really, really good. So, um, Richard, you've done stats like I've done stats for a long time. And sometimes when we go into industry updates, um, we make some crystal ball predictions, and sometimes they come true. We like to think most of the time they come true, and sometimes they don't. But I feel completely validated today because I got an article that is validating what I've been thinking, and I'm really excited about that. And uh, so I have to point out when I'm right sometimes, just so you know. Go ahead, Richard. What do you think?
All those numbers started breaking yesterday in news articles, and
Yes.
you're absolutely right. It's exactly what we've been feeling, and
Yeah.
and hopefully that's not a 1 month anomaly. I think we're showing that it's not in the weekly stats that you're doing.
Yeah. So let's jump in. All right. Broward County. The active inventory is holding strong. It's not as strong as like summer months, but typically when you normally get down to this October timeframe, you start to see a pretty big drop off in new listings on the market. It seems to be holding fairly healthy in terms of like inventory, but it certainly has come down, which we've talked as a good thing. So there was 845 active status changes in single family Broward County. 191 hit active under contract, and 175 are currently in the pending status. Going into the end of October, uh, I don't know how y'all feel about that, but those are big numbers for this time of year. What do you think, Richard? You've got perspective.
I think it's somewhat validation that as the interest rates came down to that 6.25 level, you got a lot of buyers coming off the fence. And actually, I think today they're down at 6.19 for the 30-year fixed, which is below what it was most of last week. So if it keeps that trend, I think we're going to continue to see this activity.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. One of the storylines we've been talking about, which is precursor to me feeling a little validated here, is that the market stalled in September. It didn't come to a screeching halt, but it certainly stalled out. And you see it in these numbers where September was just kind of a lull of the real estate industry for a minute. And then we've been talking for the last couple of weeks, like, man, it's really bouncing back from that stall in September. And we've got some articles we're going to put up. But if you just look at these pending numbers in the middle of September of 80, 90, 87, and then you come to today, we've got 175 pending. Broward County single family. That's a drastic change in a time of year when you don't normally see a drastic change. It's certainly not in the up direction. So you should be feeling hope. You should be feeling optimism. You should be feeling activity in your real estate business. Really, really strong numbers to look at. And we're going to see it in the closings going forward. We're currently at 241 in the last 7 days in Broward County single family. If I run down to condos, uh, good inventory number at 927, 114 went active under contract. So even the condos, 114 is a big number for this time of year. 96 pending, which is almost double what we were showing in the month of September. And then 151 closed out in the last 7 days. This is the last week of the month. It's that final push. You're going to see a big number in closings next Monday when we do this because it picks up the end of the month. If I run over to Miami-Dade, give it a second. Single family, same story, 818. It's a little down from the high of the summer months, but it is healthy, really healthy. 115, which if you look back, single family Dade, Miami-Dade County, uh, was below 90, and now we're at 115. So it's certainly an increase of, it doesn't sound like a lot, like 25 is the delta between what it was in September, but to what it is today. That's 25%. That's a big jump in movement, right? 163 pending, going to story, it was like right around 100 towards the end of September. So 163 really strong, and 192 compared to 101, 111, 128. Man, we are speeding up in a very healthy way. If I hit condos in Miami-Dade, uh, same story on inventory, really healthy. 89 went under contract in the last 7 days. So looking at Miami-Dade for a long period of time, the properties going active under contract were like 50, 60. And then starting about a month ago, we started putting 93, 91, 97, 85, 89. That is a big jump in properties going under contract in the condo category in Miami-Dade. And you see it obviously in the pendings too. There's 103. And eventually you all understand those numbers are leading indicators that land in closings, but 173 condos closed in the last 7 days in Miami-Dade County. It's a big number, guys. If I hit Palm Beach, single family, 744, which is healthy. 189 went under contract. So they kind of went down to the 130, 140 range. And then we had 180 last week. We had 189 this week. That's certainly a considerable movement. You look at pendings, 127, going back a few weeks, they were in the 60s. So it's almost double what it was 45 days ago, which is considerable movement in single family Palm Beach. If I look at condos, Palm Beach, 654. We've got 83, and not as drastic of a change, but certainly greater than what it was. And pendings are 84, but you see back, it wasn't late August, early September, the pending number was like in the 30s. And to be at 84 at the end of October, big movement, right? Richard, what is your take on all these numbers?
I'm actually, I would be interested in knowing everybody else's opinion. I am wondering in the condo market, it's now been a long enough period of time that all of the reviews, all of the assessments have been announced. People know what they're dealing with. Are we over all of the uncertainty that was going on in the condo market? And we're seeing buyers having a little bit more confidence in coming back into that market and making purchases. Now, the second part of that thought, as with the affordability as tough as it is with single family homes, are your primarily first time buyers finally understanding that they have to compromise and looking at the condo market as well? So tell me what you guys are thinking about that.
I think,
There you go ahead, Steve.
yeah, I think that they absolutely are thinking about the condo market. The biggest hiccup is the non-qualified ones, and that's a big portion in Fort Lauderdale. I know that. So I don't know what anybody else is thinking, but that's a big hindrance.
Agree. I think financing the condos is still part of the issue. So a lot of our clients are choosing to rent for one more year for that to balance out.
Mhm.
Okay. Any other thoughts? Jeff, you're breaking up really bad. Jeff, you're breaking up really bad. Not really. Get to a good spot and we'll come back. Anybody else? All right. Well, let's move on. Okay. So the AI browser wars are here. This is new. Those of you that read this article ahead of time, I usually send it to the team leaders ahead of time. What are your thoughts on this?
On the first one,
Yeah.
I like the different perspective of, so what it's saying is that, buyers and sellers are going to be leveraging it a lot more. And instead of just calling, your agent saying, this is my criteria and this is what I'm looking for, they're just going to go plug in, I want a house with a pool with great schools and a 3-bedroom. So it's a different angle to kind of think of how to provide value for your clients when they can just go type in one sentence and get the answers themselves.
Yeah. So the question is, so OpenAI and Microsoft are basically launching competing products to Google, which is in the past, you might have gone to Google and typed in, hey, uh, I'm looking for homes in Broward County or Miami-Dade County. But now they're creating like browsers of search, which whether or not the consumer moves here or not is debatable, but it's more intelligent search backed by AI versus Google sourcing the internet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, which I feel like ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini was that way already, but they're more app based. This seems to be more
Search
desktop
engine.
based, if you will. Yeah, search engine in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm bringing it to the table to go check it out and make you aware of it. OpenAI's is called the Atlas browser, and Microsoft is debuts a co-pilot mode in Edge. I don't know that I ever logged into Edge to begin with, to be honest with you. So, but does this change the game of real estate around lead generation? The obvious answer is yes. How, we don't know.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway,
What it means to me, Brett, is that as real estate professionals, we have to better understand what our value proposition is within the transaction.
yeah.
Years ago, remember we used to have the MLS books. We owned all of the data and they had to come to us to find a house. And then the internet came along and we had computer searches. And this is just another era of opening up all of our data to the general public, which means we have to better understand what our value is within the transaction.
mm-hmm.
Yep, for sure.
100%.
All right. Anyway, it's just an awareness article for everybody. It looks like some people were putting something in the chat. I think we cannot forget the new this is Jeff, the new construction luxury condo market. But they never showed up. Do not want to resell. I'll let everybody read that in the chat. Okay. 5 types of social media posts that are filling agents' pipelines right now. So when I bring an article like this to the table for industry update, my real intention is to just briefly talk about it. And if this is something that's part of your business plan for 2026, you should go print down this article out of social media and read about it to see if there's a strategy you need to implement for lead generation for 2026. So the five types is this about me post. So I don't know if you've seen it on social media, but people are quote unquote reintroducing themselves, saying, "Let me tell you about me." And they're almost like a resume kind of post or a reintroduction post. Um, they're saying it's working really well. The other ones are local guides, be the reporter or the relocation resource. So what's interesting is YouTube was that platform for a long time. So if I sold real estate in Fort Lauderdale, I might go do restaurant reviews or park reviews or living reviews and created long form content on YouTube that became searchable. And I still think that's a really strong uh, lead generation tactic. But people are doing more of this on social media now as a relocation guide, as the reporter of what life is like in my area. Um, then the next one is new listing videos that don't look like everyone else. One of the things that we have started doing, and I saw the recording of it this weekend, and it's really amazing, is we have Miko and a guy named Chandler, who's a tech trainer in Texas, building out a co-host of what we're calling the It Factor, which is really inspired technology, is what it stands for. But they interviewed Justin Himmelbaum for 45 minutes on what is the beginner, intermediate, and expert level of using CapCut. And it's incredibly instructional, and we're producing it right now, and you're going to get that here really soon. And I know the next episode they're interested in interviewing Jenny, our interim team leader in Coral Springs, around how she's using uh, the AI avatar in video. So does that land on your business plan around how do I do video differently for my 2026, right? Um, and then the next one is creating listing videos that set you apart, of course. And then the last one is the sold story. So is this new information? Not 100%, but it's more of a reminder of we're here in October. You're writing your business plan for 2026 right now. What is the strategy you're going to implement for 2026? And you might pull this article down and go, man, this is what I need to be doing for 2026, or maybe something else. But I wanted to just bring in terms of conversation, as it's an article on Inman that is saying this is what's working in terms of lead generation. Make sense? Any questions?
Nope.
All right. Uh, all right. There was a question.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, Brett, I think this article just reiterates, the common theme that we're talking about, how AI is really
Yeah.
becoming such an important, tool that people are using. And again, with lead gen, but also with social media, just putting yourself out there and being your genuine self and just,
Yep.
putting your personality into it. Because I think in the end of the day, people want to deal with people. And as much as AI can handle a lot of different aspects of the transaction, people still want that communication. They want to know they're being taken care of by a person. That's what I believe, and I think, this with social media especially is just reiterating that point.
Yeah. Mark, you're in Aventura, right?
Yeah.
And one of the top agents in Aventura, Natalie, is here at the luxury symposium. And she's telling me all about you at this event and how amazing you are on social media and what she's watching you do as a newer, you're not new, but a newer agent to the industry, and how impressive it is. And it was a reminder that sometimes some of the best strategies comes from people like you. So I just wanted to throw you that compliment because she was telling me all about you yesterday. So there you go. All right. More homes sold, lower rates, lower inflation, where Fannie Mae expects the market to move. We are in a housing recovery period, which means we're going to sell more real estate in the future, guys. And sometimes that's a prediction, and sometimes there's data backing it up. We certainly have the data backing it up. And yep. And the reality of this is we are in an increasing real estate environment, and you should sell more real estate in 2026 and certainly going forward. And that is really positive signs. The second part of this is, as Richard made mention earlier, rates have already started to come down. And we believe that the economists and the predictors are showing that 6% is a reality in the near future, and we may actually even go lower than 6. And the minute that happens, buckle up because the market's going to speed up really, really fast. Inflation is the one variable that is the X factor in this whole thing. And I found an article last minute this morning that just showed that the latest inflation data is showing prices rose by a fast pace since January. So this is the counter to everything being better. So the September inflation report showed that prices rose at a slower than expected pace, which was good, but annual price hikes for a range of consumer goods rose at a faster pace so far this year. So I don't need you to be an economist expert, but when I tell you that all signs are good, rates are coming down, we're going to sell more houses, we're coming out of a housing recovery, the one thing that could screw that up is inflation. And so just so you're aware what the factors are, I thought that was important to understand. Richard, Jenny, Steve, Jeff, anybody, y'all read this article ahead of time. What'd you get out of it?
It's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
All the indications are we've hit bottom, things are going to get better, and absolutely agree with you. Unless inflation takes another big jump up, I think we're going to see rates continuing to come down for the next while.
Yeah.
I agree. And I think it's also important, like you said, to caution on the other side of things. So instead of just saying all optimism, rates are coming down, be realistic about it with your clients. But they're set for a layup this week, and I think we're looking good, but we're not economists.
Yeah. I think what you had said about, what is our value and to the public, to our clients, like all these buyers that have been on the sidelines, it's the same thing with the sellers that we have. The sellers have been sitting on the sideline waiting for something to happen. The question is, who's going to be the first one to take advantage of it amongst your database for everybody? And it's our job to prepare them that, do you want to be the first on the market and get the hot buyers that are excited about the lower interest rates, or you want to be in more competition later? So I think that this article is great for sellers too.
All right. Well, let's move into where Brett feels validated. Existing
Another
home
one?
prices firmed up in September. Demand picked up a bit recently as inventory growth slowed. Look, guys, this is the power of us tracking these numbers every week, is we are seeing it before it happens, and we start to watch the trends, right? Um, so we knew demand was picking up about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And
Hmm.
we've been talking about it on this call, and we've been watching inventory grow slow since about August. So while this is national headlines from the famous Logan out of Housing Wire on October 23rd, the cool thing is we've already kind of been talking about this for a while now. It certainly makes me feel validated, if you'll allow me, but it's just a good article you can put in front of a consumer that's
Mhm.
saying, hey, listen, the market is moving in a positive direction. There's no sense in waiting. If you're talking to a seller, now's the time to list. Let me explain to you why. If you're talking to a buyer, there's no sense in waiting. Prices are going to continue to go up. And then on the South Florida Business Journal, it actually talks specific to condos. And it's talking about how South Florida home and condo sales bounced back in September. So they increased 15.2%,
Mhm.
and condo sales rose in Miami-Dade and Palm Beach counties, which you saw in our numbers. And but Broward County experienced a drop in condo sales. So Miami-Dade and Palm Beach went up. Broward went down in condo sales, but overall, the South Florida home single family went up by a lot in the month of September. And
Mhm.
these are headlines that you can run with, right? So if I have a condo listing in Broward County and my seller's a little frustrated, maybe this is validation to get a price reduction. Or if I have potential listings in Miami-Dade County, and they've been frustrated thinking they can't sell their condo, this might be a message I could ping them with that said, hey, things are starting to move faster. Let's get your property on the market. It's all in how it's the messaging that you're using around these talking points, right? Make sense?
That's
Any
correct.
questions, comments on anything we talked about today?
Quiet Monday.
It's Monday.
Stuff, Brett.
All right, guys. Well, Mark,
Look-
you're
looking-
famous now.
Information, guys. It's absolutely
Looking-
useless until you start putting it in front of your clients, right? I mean, you got to somehow install this so you look like the expert, period.
Period. I love it.
Yep.
I'll share with you guys some information, hopefully next week, that's coming out of the luxury symposium. One crazy thing that I learned, I'll share with you real quick. So, have you heard of this platform, Picasso?
Yep.
So, Picasso is this fractional home ownership model that will allow people to buy like an eighth of a like a very high-end luxury property. Here's what I didn't know. Do you know they pay you commission on it? So if you sold an eighth of a $20 million property, they will pay you a 3% commission on it. I
That's
had
nice.
no idea. I had dinner with a lady last night, the head lady, and I said, I had no idea y'all paid commissions on that. And she said, well, that's a mistake. And I said, well, I don't think my agents know y'all pay a commission on that either. So if you're in that Miami market, I guarantee you there's Picasso listings in the MLS because I've seen them. They're in the Fort Lauderdale market. They're in almost all these markets. And is that something that you advertise to your referral partners to get additional sale? I had no idea. I literally heard this at dinner last night. And I was like, wow, I need to make sure our agents know. So anyway, there's your little fun tidbit coming out of luxury symposium. So any other questions? Somebody say something smart. It's 9:30.
It's not going to be smart, but
Oh, Frankie, come on.
I just wanted to have Mark some Instagram handles so I can see what you're doing out there, Mark.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat, but it's my first name and then dot last name.
Okay, thank you.
Everybody's
Smart,
gonna go
Brett.
follow you now.
Brett, the only smart thing I gotta say, folks, is it's lead gen time.
There you go.
Go
Bye.
make some money.
All right. Bye.
Bye.